all. My name is Swapna Vittal Rao Hazare. Today I am going to deliver a lecture for the class SYBSc from the credit first, semester first and the chapter first, that is Introduction to Taxonomy. Thank you. Today I am going to start with the chapter first from credit 1. The name of the chapter is Introduction to Plant Taxonomy. So in this chapter we discuss about the different aspects involved in the taxonomy as well as the definition of the taxonomy and various criteria, or you can say the different scopes, the objectives and the importance of taxonomy. See the introduction. So what is meant by the taxonomy? So plant taxonomy is the fundamental branch of botany. Taxonomy is a science by which biologists classify and organize the vast diversity of living things on this planet in an attempt to understand the evolutionary relationship between them. The correct identification of each plant species is necessary if the plant is to be used as a research or resource material. So the identification is the most important criteria or the most important tool for any research purpose is required. So taxonomy deals with the identification of plant specimen. Then the taxonomy is the theory and practice of classifying organism, and it is also revealed that every living organism is related to other living organism. So that is why it is theory as well as the practice of classifying organism. Then it plays a major role in conservation, protection and utilization of biodiversity. Later we discuss about how the taxonomy involved in the conservation process or for the protection of different plant species or for the utilization of biodiversity for humankind. The recognizing and interpreting similarities and differences among organisms is easier if the organisms are classified, because it is a natural human tendency to organize any object or different object to avoid confusion. Similarly, in the similar sense, the man tries to classify the organism on the basis of their morphological character to distinguish the organism or to avoid confusion for identifying a particular organism, or you can say the plant species if we discuss about the plant taxonomy. Then the definition of plant taxonomy. So here we first discuss about how the definition of taxonomy is originated, then what is the different definition given by the different taxonomists and the common definition for the plant taxonomy. So the first, how this taxonomy is evolved. So the taxonomy is the practice and science of classifying the plants. So the word find its roots in the Greek word, that is the taxis. The meaning of taxis is order or arrangement, and the meaning of nomos is law or science. So this is the Greek word. The taxonomy is coming from the Greek word. The meaning is arrangement or the lawful arrangement of the plants, which follows certain rules and certain codes, or you can say some regulations are there while classifying or for naming the plant. Some rules are required. The word taxonomy was first used by the great botanist A.P.D. Kandoli in 1813. The word taxonomy defined by the A.P. Kandoli as the science of classifying plants, animals and microorganisms into increasingly broader categories based on shared feature. So this is the definition given by the Kandoli, D. Kandoli. The traditionally organisms were grouped by physical resemblance, or you can say the morphological characters, whatever the characters we can easily observe. On the basis of this, they are organized into a group. But in recent times, the other criteria such as genetic matching have also been involved. Genetic matching means it includes the or you can say the organisms not just classify on the basis of their physical resemblance, but that at the genetic level or at the gene level. The more precisely, the plant taxonomy can be defined as, or this is a kind of a common definition, what the taxonomy exactly means. The taxonomy is the branch of biology which deals with the description, identification, classification and naming of plants according to their resemblance and differences. So, particularly the four things are involved. First is description of the plant, then its identification, then its classification and its naming. Then about the different objectives of the taxonomy. The main objective of modern taxonomy are, the first one is to provide a convenient method for identification and communication. Why it is necessary to provide a convenient method for communication? Because one of the criteria which is involved in the taxonomy one of the importance of taxonomy is taxonomy involved in the nomenclature of plant, and because of the proper nomenclature or by giving a proper name to the plant or the scientific, by naming the scientific name to the plant, it becomes easier to anyone to communicate in any part of the world, because generally names are changed according to the different geographical locations, or in the different country the name of the plants are different in their local languages. But if the scientific name is there, it doesn't create any kind of ambiguity or confusion. So this taxonomy provides a very effective method for the communication purpose. Then second objective is to provide a classification system based on natural affinities of the organism, because most of the organisms or most of the plants in the taxonomy, they are classified by considering their overall morphological characters. Then in modern taxonomy, the anatomical characters are also considered, the genes are also considered by classifying the organism, and not just this, but their evolutionary relationship are also taken into consideration. So most of the time, more and more natural character or their natural affinities are considered. So because of this taxonomy provide a proper classification system. Then the next objective is to provide an inventory of plant taxa by means of floras, monographs, manuals, etc. So inventory means the new, if there are some species are there which are invented, or you can say they are identified, described and naming are also given, but this work is still on continuous process. So it provides an inventory. So the new plants are continuously added by applying all these criteria, that means identification, then its classification, the naming. So the listing of plants can be possible, and it can be included in the floras and monographs and manuals. So floras, monographs and manuals, these all are the taxonomic literature which contains the whatever the described plants, the information are available in this floras or monographs. Then the next objective is to demonstrate the evolutionary implication of plant diversity. So this is again one of the most important objective, the evolutionary implication or evolutionary relationship between the organisms or between the plant specimen can be studied in this field. So it is very useful for study the evolutionary relationship, to know how this plant diversity can be evolved on this planet Earth. Then next objective is to provide a single Latin scientific name for every group of plant in the world, both living and extinct. As I told earlier, the first objective, to provide a convenient method for identification and communication. So by providing a single Latin scientific name, because of this single or a scientific name, specific name, it doesn't create any confusion in any part of the world. So name cannot be changed at any place, the name is same. So Then this naming of the plant is done with the living as well as the extinct specimen also. So all these are the different objectives, and one more objective is to arrange plant in such a way as to give us an idea about the sequence of their evolution from simpler, earlier and more primitive type to more complex, more recent, more advanced type in a different period of history. So this taxonomy provide idea of the sequence of evolution of this entire plant kingdom through the by applying different taxonomic tools. Then about the scope of taxonomy, where this taxonomy is useful. So this taxonomy is useful for the phylogenetic, to study the phylogenetic relationship for the nomenclature purpose. It also has great value in forestry as well as in agriculture, horticulture, plant breeding and medicinal studies, and to study ecology, because for the ecologist it is necessary to know about the names of the plant and their relationship to the habitat and the environment, and it is most useful science for the conservation of diversity, biodiversity, and it is useful in preparing floristic inventory of different regions of the world. So this picture or this diagram gives a complete idea about the scope of taxonomy. So there are lots of scope, but some of the scope I can mention here in this diagram. So first is plant nomenclature, because in the taxonomy the plants are named according to the ICBN rule, or you can say the whatever the different laws are there or different codes are there that are applied for the naming of the plant. So in the plant nomenclature it has a great scope. In the study of phylogenetic relationship between the different plant taxa, there is a scope for the study of taxonomy. And for the forestry, because any forest department it have record of whatever the different plant specimens are there in the forest, that can be included in their record. So for that purpose the naming of what is necessary. So it has a great scope in the forestry. Similarly, agriculture, horticulture and plant breeding, and in the medicinal botany also it has a great scope for the naming of the plant, for the identification of the plant, for knowing what are the important active ingredients are there, that can be also know with this, or which kind of medicinal plants are there available in a particular area, that can be also known with the help of this taxonomy. Then ecology, for ecologists it is necessary to know the name of the plant, their morphological character, their breeding season, whatever, to know the whatever the impact of that particular species on that particular ecosystem or the climate. So for that there is a scope of taxonomy in the ecology, for the floristic inventory, for the study of different taxon, and for the conservation purpose. So in conservation purpose, because there is a red data book which include the list of rare, threatened and endangered species. By knowing the species, which species are rare, which are in the stage of endangered, or which are in the stage of rare case or threatened case. So by knowing this fact, the taxonomist can able to conserve such species which has a great impact on the particular ecosystem. So it has a very good scope in the conservation also. Then about the importance of taxonomy. So the first is, taxonomy has a great role as an information storage and retrieval system. One can store the information. Suppose any scientist, botanist or taxonomist, if he gathers some information, he can store that information, and anyone, student or researcher, he can able to retrieve that information. So it is a kind of information storage and retrieval system. The plant taxonomy is of tremendous importance as it pulls the data from various levels, such as organismic level, structural level, ultrastructural level and molecular level. So it has an importance for pulling the data or for retrieving the data from the various levels. It provides an effective means of communication all over the world. So this point is also explained in the earlier slide, how it become effective for the communication. That means giving a proper name or proper scientific name, it creates a proper effective communication system all over the world. The knowledge of plant taxonomy is of prime importance and fundamental in establishing the gene bank and the germ plasm collection, because with the help of taxonomic knowledge, one can store or one can conserve a particular plant species. That means in that sense we can store that genes of that particular organism or particular plant species or the germ bank. So it is very useful in the gene bank and germ plasm collection. The taxonomy is the main tool in conservation of biodiversity throughout the world. Once again, it has a great importance in the conservation purpose. The taxonomy plays important role in green revolution as well as gene evolution. Green revolution in the sense, because with the help of conservation, plant can be conserved, so it is a kind of green revolution as well as a gene evolution. And it plays an important role, or it indicates the distribution and the habitat of the plant on the earth and their benefits. So taxonomy has a good importance for indicating the distribution of plant, because many of the taxonomic literature, that may be flora, monographs or manuals, they include the information about the distribution of the plant, where that plants are located, their habitat and habits are also mentioned on the, or you can say on the different parts of the earth. The particular plant species sometimes not found everywhere, it is located to only restricted locality. So this taxonomy provides an idea about where that plant species exactly occur. So for that purpose, it is study of taxonomy is important. Then about the different aspects of angiosperm taxonomy, or the different you can say the types or different tools which are involved in the study of taxonomy, or the different stages. The first stage is, or the first step or the first criteria is exploration. So what is the meaning of exploration? So exploration means searching for something with a specific aim and to utilize it. So in the taxonomic sense, the botanical exploration or taxonomical exploration means searching for the plant species for specific aim. Suppose if anyone is searching for medicinal plant, so he can search a plant for a particular purpose, to maybe to prepare some kind of drug, okay, and to utilize it for the humankind. So exploration, what is the meaning of exploration? The plant exploration and its collection is the first and foremost activity in the taxonomic studies. This activity is executed through planning, coordinating and conducting collaborative exploration for collection of plant species from different localities or from various diversity-rich regions. So for plant exploration, the main thing is the collection of plant specimen. So collection of plant specimen, sometimes one can do individually or sometimes it can be done with a collaborative work. So it requires some steps or some planning. So let's see the different steps which are involved in the botanical exploration. The first is planning for exploration of plant species. So this planning includes the locality selection, then about the harvesting season, or you can say sometimes the pollinating season or the blooming season, if the particular blooming period of any particular plant species is there. So that period is also taken into consideration, or the seed dispersal mechanism. So this kind of things are also taken into consideration, and according to that the planning for the collection of plant specimen can be designed, or the planning can be made. So the second step is making contact with the local research organization. If sometimes the locality is different, so in that case you need some kind of permission, or you have to contact with the local research organization. Then about the gathering, next step is gathering equipment and preparation. So for the collection purpose, there are required certain kind of equipment to collect the plant specimen, because sometimes the plant specimen it needs requiring the digging from the earth, or sometimes to cut the branches. So such kind of equipment can be gathered, and overall preparation is necessary. Then the next step is meeting with the local researcher in an area to be surveyed. So whatever the area is selected or the area under survey, that can be discussed with the local researcher prior to botanical excursion. And then once the area is selected, then the plant specimen can be collected, and later on the next step is sorting out of collected sample. So whatever the desired sample is available, that can be selected for the collection purpose, or for making herbarium, or for other purpose. Then the reporting to the headquarters. If you are collecting some plant specimen from any forest or some other whatever the area, if that area is under government control, so it requires some kind of permission, and once you collected the plant specimen from that area, you have to report to the headquarters. And last is the preparation and publication of the report. So preparation and publication, that is after your complete research about that particular plant specimen. Then the next criteria is description. First step is exploration. The next step is the description of plant specimen. So what is meant by description? The plant description is a formal description of a newly discovered species, usually in the form of scientific paper using ICN guideline. And the names of these plants are then registered on the International Plant Name Index along with other validly published name. Once you have identified particular plant, you describe it in a particular format according to ICN guideline, and these reports or the description that can be then published according to valid publication rules. Then the next criteria in the study of taxonomy is identification. So identification or determination is to recognize an unknown specimen. It is based on overall similarities as well as the differences with an already known taxa means species. Identification method includes these steps. For example, the expert determination, recognition, comparison, and the use of keys, synopsis, outlines, etc. So what is meant by expert determination? Expert determination means, so in this step or in this method, it includes seeking help from those persons who are expert in determining the plants. So such kind of method includes in this method the experts are nothing but the taxonomists or those persons who have an extensive experience about the determining or identification of the species. So by taking help from that person or that taxonomist, it will become easy to determine any particular plant species. So this is a very correct kind of method is considered, because of the more and more experienced persons are involved for the identification purpose. Then the next is recognition. Just to recognize a plant specimen just by observing it. So recognition involves the past experience. If any person has a good experience about identifying a particular plant species, so because of his practice of observing and identifying plant species, so recognition is based on generally on the past experience. Then the comparison includes simply if you have any plant twig, you have to compare that plant twig with the already known taxa, and you just compare the morphological character, and on the basis of this observation based on morphological character, one can identify a plant species. And the last method is use of keys, synopsis, outlines, etc. So this is the mostly usable method, because this method is used by research students, even researchers, even professors, and many of the people use this method because it is a less time consuming method. It requires very less method and very less time. So what is meant by key is a synopsis and outline. So these are nothing but the taxonomic literature are there, and in this taxonomic literature there are certain statements are given regarding the identification purpose of the plant species. So these keys are helpful for identifying any plant species. So how these keys are exactly works? So this is an example of identification keys. So in this example you can see here. So this example for the bracketed key, example of bracketed key on the rhododendron. So particularly for the rhododendron species. So there are certain statements are given. For example, 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B. So there are certain statements are given. Let's see just one example. So statement 1A, flowers in shades of red. So if you found in your specimen the red color of flower or the shades of red, then you have to go to the second statement. So there are point is given, go to 2. So again the second statement or 2 number is divided into 2 and 2b. So if again you found the flowers are blood red, leaves oblong, ovate, leathery and thick matte texture, that means the species is Rhododendron sikkimens. But if you found the flowers crimson red, leaves are broad, oval to elliptic oblong or shiny green above, then the species is different, that is Rhododendron fulgens. So in this way this statement helps for the identification purpose. So most of the researchers use this method. Then the next criteria is nomenclature. So what is meant by nomenclature? So the nomenclature is the branch of taxonomy concerned with the assignment of names to the taxonomic group in an agreement with the published rules. In a simple sense, the meaning of nomenclature means assigning names to the plant in a scientific manner by following some rules or the published rules. So it is a method of naming plant based on international rules which permit only a single valid name for each kind of plant. There are no other name, only a single valid name is there. Then the nomenclature of plant is governed by International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. It is abbreviated as ICBN. According to ICBN principles, all the names are given to the plants. The use of scientific name for the taxon is an effective tool for communication of information about the plants, and this nomenclature particularly include the system that is called as a binomial nomenclature system. Earlier there was a polynomial system or trinomial system was there, but nowadays the binomial nomenclature system is widely accepted, and this binomial nomenclature means it includes two names for giving a name to any plant name or you can say the taxonomic name or scientific name. It includes two words. The first word is generic name and the second word is specific epithet, or in a simple sense the genus name and the species name. Then the next criteria involved in the study of taxonomy is classification. So classification is an arrangement of organisms into groups on the basis of similarities and differences. It is an arrangement of organisms into groups with a particular characteristic according to certain criteria and placing them within the taxonomic hierarchy. So taxonomic hierarchy means classifying plant on the basis of where, for example, kingdom Plantae, then division, then class, then order, etc. So this is a taxonomic hierarchy. So in this taxonomic hierarchy, the organism is arranged in a particular by considering its particular characteristics. So there are basically three kinds of classification. The first one is artificial classification. This classification is given by Linnaeus. So it is also called as Linnaeus system or Linnaeus classification. So he gave the classification in 1735. So artificial classification is based on considering only a few observable character or one or two characters are considered for classification of plants. For example, the stamen characters. So that is why it is also known as the sexual system of classification. We discuss this system in the next lecture. Then the second system or second kind of classification is natural classification. So this natural classification is given by Bentham and Hooker. So it is also known as the Bentham and Hooker system. So the period of the Bentham and Hooker is 1962 to 1883. So in natural classification system, more and more natural characters or natural affinities among the different taxa are considered while classifying the plant specimens. And the third kind of classification is phylogenetic classification, which is given by Hutchinson system in 1926 and Angler and Plantel in 1964 and APG system in 1998. There are again 4 versions of the APG system. So in your syllabus there is an Angler and Plantel system is described. So this is about the different kinds of classification. Thank you.